Hello everyone, it's Kelder and I'm back in business. Now we are going to start harvesting some wheat. To start the business, that is. So, gonna do this unfold. Okay, yeah, that's just a glitch. A harvester, yeah. I look like a novice here. Yeah, well, that should do it. That should do it. Okay, now we can actually start doing something. Start harvesting wheat. Well, while we are doing this, I might as well talk a bit about leasing and buying, and why do I buy the harvester and lease the header, for example? Why would I lease the trailer and buy the tractor? Well, I'm sure those of you, well, that's a novice mistake. Those of you who have actually played the game before know that the leasing cost is paid. You pay daily rate for the leasing, then you pay by the real life hour of use, and when you're leasing you have the base cost that you pay in the start. You pay the base cost, and for 1 hour on 1 day. What are you doing? Yeah, well, this starts good. Okay. Just, well, this is confusing. Let's do it like this. Sometimes it does that. I don't know why, but it usually works after reattaching. So, yeah, so I was speaking of the leasing. So if you are not going to use the machine a lot or for a long time, you might as well lease it. Like, well, header is a bit of a, there's a decision you make, but like if you are aiming to upgrade your seeder or trailer or whatever the machine you are buying soon, you might as well lease it, because you are not going to end up paying that much for it, while if you bought it outright you would end up losing money because the value goes down straight away after you buy it. But if you are going to use it for a extended period of time, or just use it a lot, like a tractor, or a tractor goes for use it a lot, harvester goes usually for you're going to have it for a long time, because you can use bigger headers like I did with this. The header is not for the harvester. So those you might as well buy. You are going to get something back when you sell it back. So you don't lose that much, and you would be paying for nothing on the leasing side. But I think it's just a question of preference. So if you want to lease or buy it, I know it doesn't. It's not always good idea to buy. That's actually with my other save, what I messed up with. I ended up buying everything and in 500,000 in debt with just small pieces of land, and then I started doing contracts just to pay back the debt a bit. I successfully paid back like 120,000 or something, but I did upgrade my machines in the meanwhile. I bought very nice tractor. Actually, I can show it. I bought this one with the T234, and I had very nice machines. Oh. While we are waiting for that to unload, I'm not sure if I'm going to buy a crane silo. It is going to be on the list at some point, but now it would be a bit too big of an investment. I usually go with the gut feeling, which is not what you are supposed to do in business, but it's a game. You're supposed to have fun with it. So that's about it. I'm thinking, I'm wondering at the moment if I'm going to talk for a or not. This is a decision making moment at the now. I think I'm going to harvest the field and cut the middle part out. So I'll skip to the harvested field. So yeah, we're gonna continue later. Hello, I'm back. As you can see, I have successfully harvested most of the field. So I decided it's a good point in time to get back. Especially as I haven't done any selling yet. So if you wonder why I enabled the straw swath, it's because wasting money is a cardinal sin in the world of business. Okay, so crane elevator east is, let's go this way through town. So so yeah, if you have any ideas of what I could talk about during these videos, I would appreciate if you leave a comment. I mean, as long as it's something reasonable, can talk about, like I like history. If there is something interesting there, I could talk about, or anything. Cause when I play, I usually listen to some music or something like that, and I want to make it enjoyable for you people, cause you are spending time watching my videos, and I'm I'm not a stand-up comedian, and there's less happening here in Farming Simulator than in my Crusader Kings 2 videos, for example. I by the way got the name for the for the farm already. You want to see? It's oh, it didn't take. So it's the Imperial Estate Farms. It comes from the Crusader Kings 2 Let's Play I started with very decent goals. Not any overestimation there. Just want to conquer the world as usual. But yeah, in those Let's Plays it's a lot easier to come up with story and stuff to speak about. But with the Farming Simulator it's there is a lot more time when pretty much nothing is happening. You can't be selling wheat all the time. You have to harvest it sometimes. Sometimes there is doing contracts and sowing and blowing and stuff like that. So if you have some ideas, topics I should talk about, just leave a comment. I usually play Farming Simulator to relax, pretty much. It gets boring sometimes, but if you are listening to music or some podcast or like history of historical events and so on, it's a nice way to relax. It's quite a simple game to play, but I like the economic aspect of it, trying to make money and grow your farm and so on. It's it's a lot more interesting to drive tractors in real life, but it takes a sizable debt to get to that point that you can drive them, and it's not profitable, and the crops take a lot longer to grow than in here. You only get to harvest once a year in where I'm from. Well, one of the few fun things to do in, to break the monotony of harvesting and sowing and weeding and fertilizing and so on is to wreck some road signs, as you noticed. I do aim at them in the game. Of course not in real life, because that would be illegal, but in game it's just a good way to spend some time. So yeah, now I have the most of the glitches behind me, so that's good. So while I was harvesting, I thought about a couple of things that I could talk about of the game while finishing the field and preparing to do some contracts, and so yeah. I'm not gonna do that. So I started talking about the contracts a bit, I think. Did I? Maybe. So, contracts. Yeah, I mentioned them in my other save. I ended up focusing on contracts. Pretty much just doing contract jobs. And, well, that's how I ended up spending 70 hours with not much progress. If you can avoid it, don't go harvesting or planting or anything to do with potatoes. I mean, if you have like a small field of your own for potatoes, that's your own choice. But unless you can invest like heavily in potato, oh no, it wasn't potato. Don't do potatoes. But it was sugar beets. If you can harvest heavily, like to get the 10-meter mouse, which cost almost $500,000. So then you can do sugar beets. I think you can feed potatoes to pigs, though. Yeah. So if you have pigs, you can have like small potato field, because you don't need to buy seeds for potatoes, because you can use the excess from the last harvest. Gonna clean up some of my mess here from the last harvest. So it's not the potato contracts pay quite well, and you can keep, as with all the harvesting contracts, you can keep the last little bit that you get when you're over the 100% ready with the field. So you could do one potato harvest, but still, like, you can just buy seeds. 900 is not that much, and if you use the potatoes for well, you could always hire someone, but if you are going to harvest and plant them by yourself, you can have a small potato field to feed some pigs or something. But I don't know, the yields are so high, and the amount of work you have to do to get the fields cleared, I mean, like fields like this, it takes a long time to harvest, and the amount of back and forth running to get decent profit. I know you get decent amount of money, like I think it's one of the more profitable crops, but it takes work. So, and when I play, I usually want to, that's why I go with the bigger machines from the start. Like I don't do under 9 meters harvester headers, because I value my time even when playing. I mean, you can pay the loans off faster if you can get more harvests done per hour in real life. So less time you need to spend doing harvesting, seeding, so on. The faster the cycle is, the production cycle. is, and more you get revenue out of it, and the faster you can get bigger machines and so on and so on. And you can always, I think I'm gonna do some of that here with the contracts, that I go for bigger machines just so I can do contracts fast on the side. One thing I like to do is get the second biggest fertilizer spreader, the disc spreader with the discs to do fertilizing missions. You have to buy the fertilizer, so it's not as profitable as it could be, but it's fast and you get decent profits out of it. And you need the fertilizer spreader for spreading lime and so on. So that's what are good contract jobs, in my opinion. Well, grain harvesting, because I usually go with grain crops, so I buy harvester anyway, and decent sized one at that. So grains like wheat, oats, barley, canola. You can go with corn also, because you only need a different header, and sunflowers. I don't like doing sugar beets and potatoes. As I said, they take forever to harvest. But I've done cotton once because I wanted to try out the machine. It takes a long time also, and the bales are so big. I could have tried doing like unfinished bales, but the bales, it's over 10,000 kilos of cotton, and I ended up miscalculating. I thought I could have finished with the smaller bale. I didn't, and I wasted decent crate demand with ending up getting nothing out of, because a big portion of the harvest mission income is the part you get, the excess harvest that's left over. That can make a decent profit for you. So cotton is, there is only one machine for it. If you want, you can go for it, but I would say on the later stages of the game, maybe, when there is some room and you can use workers. I'm going to buy a loading wagon so I can make use of the not buy, lease a loading wagon so I can make use of the straw left over. That's a big part of the income for grains, straw. It adds one more working part to do, but I aim to have cows at some point, and you need to have straw for those, and loading wagon is, you don't need to worry about the bales. You can start with a loading wagon, multi-purpose, like you can harvest hay, grass, straw, so on, without needing to needing to get to buy all the baling equipment and front loaders and so on. I will move on to baler though in the future, because I don't want to have to invest for silage silos, and that's big part of the silage is big part of the productivity for cows. So I'm going to only use this for a limited amount of time. And that's why I leased it. That's actually why I decided to lease it and not buy it. Buy it outright. As I talked about earlier, then there was the issue of the silo. I decided I'm not going to buy the silo yet. I'm just gonna sell the stuff right after harvesting. I'm not doing the most efficient work with the straw at the moment, I think. But I have some things I talk about at the moment, so I'm not gonna skip for now. I might finish off the straw before the next episode though, on my own time, so not to waste your valuable time with that anymore. But yeah, so my plan is, as I mentioned, to go for cows eventually. I think I'm gonna for land expansion, I'm gonna start with buying these two cheap ones. After that, then go for these. That junkyard I can use as a storage place for my machines. So that's good to have at some point, but it's not on the high priority list because I aim to go big. Actually, I'm going to start plowing the property to increase the field size. I aim to go big, go fast. Go big fast. I'm going the wrong way. That's what happens when you're rambling on about something. So yeah, I aim to increase the area, field area, as fast as I can, and those two cheap fields make a good place for harvesting grass, while the 20 and 19 on the right side here will be used for grains and stuff like that, I think, because you can expand it all the way to the 17 eventually, so it's in a good place. I think I'm gonna sacrifice some of the 21 for my dairy, like what's it, barn, cow paddock, I think. Yeah, a cow pasture. Yeah, and might use it for silos and stuff. Yeah, that's what I thought about. It's not nice when the cars come out of nowhere and just ambush you when you're trying to get somewhere fast. It's just I mean, what's going on with those people? They are driving like crazy. It's not me, it's them. Yeah, but yes. So that's the plan. So first, going for some contract work. That's gonna include decent amount of skipping, some upgrades in machines. I'm gonna cover those in video, but do most of the contract work outside videos. I'm gonna recap the income things and what I have been doing during the absence. Unless you really want, like all of you who want to spend your time watching these videos, want to really see me working on like and rambling on about some stuff while I'm doing it all the time. Like I'm talking of 10 hours on a free day I might spend to do contracts. Nothing but contracts. Of course that would be cut into like 30 minutes, maybe 40 minute pieces of just like not 40 minutes. I'm not gonna be able to talk 40 minutes in one go. Talking is not in my nature. It's not natural for me to just talk. That's why it's a bit erratic at the moment, because I'm just talking without any real goal here. I'm actually very happy about the placement of the house. I like it. I like it. It's a nice view. You have the mountains and you have the little pond there. You can get to the road very fast. You have good connections, you know. It's a valuable real estate. I think I could sell it for a nice profit if someone was willing to pay like 500,000 of it and maybe piece of this field. I would sell it. I would sell it, and I would buy another piece of land. Because it's business. It's not personal. But yeah, I think it's going to start to be it for now. I'm gonna wrap this up with a nice swim on the pond, and after that, just gonna see you next time. I did promise you the swim, so it's gonna take like a minute of this. So yeah, the farmhouse is good for skipping the night. That's what I learned when I didn't have a farmhouse on the last save, so I ended up working through the night, and it gets unreasonably difficult to see fertilizer spreading, for example, where you have done it or not. And I think it would be even worse on video, because I can see it easier when I'm playing that you could, especially if the quality is not so good on the video end. So yeah, without further ado, see you next time. I'm gonna skip the straw runs, and I think we are going to tackle our first contracts next time. So, see you next time. Hope you had fun. If you have any suggestions for topics to talk about to avoid excessive amounts of silence and awkward jumping around of topics and so on. So I'm gonna end it now before I ramble on about something else. So see you next time. Hope you had fun and have a nice day. Done any selling yet? So if you wonder why I enabled the straw swap, it's because wasting money is a cardinal sin in the world of business. Okay, so crane elevator east is, let's go this way. Might use it for silos and stuff. Yeah, that's what I thought about. It's not nice when the cars come out of nowhere and just ambush you when you're trying to get somewhere fast. It's just, that's, I mean, what's going on with those people? They are driving like crazy. It's not me, it's them. Yeah, but yes. So that's the plan. So first going to the house. That's, I like it. I like it. It's a nice view. You see, you have the mountains and you have the little pond there. You can get to the road very fast. You have good connections, you know. It's a valuable real estate. I think I could sell it for a nice profit if someone was willing to pay like 500,000 of it and maybe piece of this field. I would sell it. I would sell it, and I would buy another piece of land. Because, you know, it's business. It's not personal.